What would drive a promising nursing student to vanish without a trace, leaving behind only cryptic clues and a car crashed on a cold, lonely road? To this day, Maura Murray's disappearance is an enigma that has haunted investigators, internet sleuths, and her own family for over 2 decades. Welcome to Dark True Stories, where true crime, real-life horror, and unsolved mysteries come alive. From haunted places to chilling disappearances, we dig into the darkest truths behind the unknown. Subscribe now for weekly journeys into the mysterious and the macabre. Who was Maura Murray? Maura Murray was born on May 4th, 1982, in Massachusetts, part of a tight-knit Irish Catholic family. She was a gifted track star, known for her determination both academically and athletically. After a year at West Point Military Academy, Maura transferred to UMass Amherst to pursue nursing, a fresh start that seemed, at least on the surface, full of promise. But in the months leading up to February 2004, Maura's life was full of undercurrents she mostly kept to herself. Troubles with relationships, a charge for using a stolen credit card, emotional phone calls, and unexplained breakdowns. Looking back, these small fissures would feed all kinds of speculation about the final days before her disappearance. The build-up, February 5th, 8th, 2004. On Thursday, February 5th, Maura worked her regular campus security shift. During her late-night break, a phone call with her eldest sister Kathleen left her distressed, so much so that a supervisor would later find her standing motionless, silently repeating, "My sister, my sister." Her sister later said nothing unusual happened, but the incident became a troubling clue. Just 2 days later, her father Fred came to visit. Together they spent Saturday shopping for a car. Fred wanted to buy Maura something reliable. Later that night, she dropped him off at his motel, borrowed his Toyota Corolla, and attended a party on campus. Around 3:30 a.m., driving back toward the motel, Maura crashed Fred's car into a guardrail, causing major damage. Police responded, but for some reason did not conduct a sobriety test. The next morning, Fred assured her insurance would cover the damage and left town. The conversation and plans that followed would mark the last time Maura's family saw her. The disappearance, February 9th, 2004. Monday, February 9th. Maura's actions paint a clear picture. She searched MapQuest for directions to Burlington and the White Mountains, places linked with memories and family vacations. She emailed professors and her employer, claiming she needed a week off for a family bereavement, despite there being no actual death. She made calls to condo associations and hotels in New Hampshire and Vermont. Around 3:30 p.m., Maura packed up her dorm, taking clothes, textbooks, toiletries, birth control pills, and personal belongings. She drove off campus in her black 1996 Saturn sedan, alone, according to surveillance footage. She withdrew $280 from an ATM, bought almost $40 of alcohol from a liquor store, and collected accident report forms from the DMV. That afternoon, she left the Amherst area heading north, her cell phone making a final call to check voicemail at 4:37 p.m. She didn't tell anyone her destination. The day was enveloped by a heavy snowstorm. Classes were canceled, and the roads were slick and dangerous. The crash scene. At 7:27 p.m., a woman living along Route 112 in Woodsville, New Hampshire, heard a loud thump. She looked out her window and saw Maura's car lodged in a snowbank beside the road, headlights still burning through the darkness. A passing motorist, a school bus driver who lived nearby, stopped at the scene. He saw a young woman, cold and shivering, wandering near the car. He offered help. Maura refused, claiming she'd called roadside assistance, even though there was no cell service in the area. The bus driver returned home and phoned emergency services. A few minutes later, another local resident drove by and claimed to have seen a police car parked nose to nose with Maura's vehicle. but did not see anyone outside. This detail is disputed by the official police log. At 7:46 p.m., law enforcement arrived. Maura was gone. Inside the car, officers found signs of recent drinking: red wine stains, a damaged Franzia wine box, and an empty beer bottle. Her AAA card, accident forms, gloves, jewelry, and favorite stuffed animal were left behind. But her cell phone, debit card, and other bottles of alcohol were missing. The car had locked doors, deployed airbags, and a rag stuffed into the muffler, a detail that would fuel speculation for years. No footprints led away from the scene, not even in the fresh snow. The search begins. Overnight, emergency crews and her family began combing the frozen landscape. Search dogs picked up Maura's scent briefly, tracing it about 100 yards east from the crash before losing the trail completely, as if she'd gotten into another vehicle. As news of her disappearance spread, theories began to multiply. Did Maura run away, desperate for escape from her problems? Did she take her own life in the cold wilderness? Or did something far darker happen? A sudden abduction, or even something inexplicable, paranormal? Her father arrived before dawn and launched a relentless search, returning to New Hampshire nearly every weekend. The FBI joined the case 10 days after, expanding efforts nationwide. But after hundreds of searches, countless flyers, interviews, and media appearances, not a single trace of Maura was found. Not a footprint, not a witness, not a body. Long-term aftermath and wild theories. Maura's case became a true crime obsession, the first crime mystery of the social media age. Online sleuths pored over maps, theories, and clues. Was she running from a pending fraud case? Did a local predator seize the opportunity? Was her behavior before the disappearance a sign she was planning to disappear on purpose? Cadaver dogs once went wild in the closet of a nearby house, but no evidence was found. A mysterious knife was handed to her father, coated in what looked like rust and maybe blood. A later excavation, years after the disappearance, turned up only broken pottery and pipes. Over the years, more leads and false hopes emerged. A ripped pair of white women's underwear found in the woods, not her DNA, reported sightings in Vermont, and even bone fragments 25 miles away, ruled out after testing. Her family continues to believe Maura met with foul play and was abducted. Others believe she ran away to start a new life. But the only thing we know for certain, on that snowy night in 2004, Maura vanished, and no one has seen her since. Paranormal, haunted, and unsolved angles. The site of Maura's disappearance is now forever linked with speculation. Is it cursed? Haunted by restless spirits that claim those who wander too close to its secrets? Or was Maura's fate simply a tragic outcome of real-life horror? Proof that sometimes the darkness lurking on lonely country roads swallows its victims without a trace. What remains is a story with all the hallmarks of true crime. Motives uncertain, evidence contradictory, and a chilling wrongness that won't let go. What do you think happened to Maura Murray? Was it foul play, a calculated escape, or something we can't explain? Leave your thoughts below, share your theories, and help keep the mystery alive. Subscribe to Welcome to Dark True Stories for weekly dives into chilling mysteries, unsolved disappearances, and the haunted histories that shape real life. If you dare, return next week, because in the world of true crime, the darkness never rests.